Picture this, you are in your 20s, you fall in love with this guy, and he feels like the best thing after sliced bread. 1 year later, you're curled up in your mother's kitchen crying because it broke your heart, because either cheated on you or did whatever, or walked away. 5 years later, you now have a job, you're working, you are in an office, and then you get caught up in these friends, and then these friendships with or your boss, it goes pear-shaped, and then you're back to square one, crying, and you get married. 5 years later, you get married. You fall in love with this person, get married, have children, and then later, a few years later, you realize, oh my God, this person was not the right person for me. And then that marriage falls apart. And then you go through life making one mistake after another. And then you ask yourself at some point, what is wrong with me? Or rather, is there something wrong with me? Guess what? There is something wrong with you. Why do I say that? I say that because I have been there. I have been you. Made all these things all these mistakes I told you, I have done it. And guess what? I'm here to tell you why something is wrong with you and what that thing is. Something is wrong with you because you're not learning. Life is teaching you all these lessons, but you're not learning. You make the same mistakes that you made because if you don't learn a lesson in life, it keeps repeating itself. You have to pass the exam before you can move on. And that is why I'm making this video, just to remind you and to show you the things that you need to know. And I'm basing them on the things that I myself have had to go through, the things, the deep lessons that I have had to learn. So I'm calling this video 6 hard truths that you only learn with age. Because at 40 plus, trust me, I know a few things and you'll be surprised what I know. So let's get started. So lesson number 1, you can be loved by someone and they can still treat you as an afterthought. There is more to just love. There's more than feeling warm and fuzzy on the inside. This is what I'm talking about. Someone who loves you ought to show you respect. Someone who loves you ought to protect you. Someone who loves you ought to be able to provide for you. Someone who loves you needs to show you that they are doing something with their lives, not just sitting there and just gallivanting the whole time. Someone who loves you needs to show you that they've got initiative, that they're able to and responsible for themselves. Okay, so love is not enough. At times, when people treat you like an afterthought, it just shows you something, that they don't value you. That is the hard truth. Someone doesn't value you, they will not care. They will not try to make an effort into that relationship. Other times, it's because they don't care. If someone does not treat you the way you ought to be treated, they actually just genuinely do not care. And hard as that is to hear, it is the bitter truth. And the easier and the faster that you swallow that hard pill, the more liberating it is. I love you is not a free pass for ill behavior. What you need from someone, a life partner, what you need from a life partner, you need someone who has got emotional intelligence. Someone who understands that what you're building together is not something that is here to pass. It is something tangible. And if you get into a boat with someone who is not there with you, that boat will not finish the course. It shall not finish the journey. Okay? Point number 2. You will outgrow people who you thought will be there forever. You know what I mean? Like there are some people you used to talk to every time, but now they're just people you scroll past on Facebook, on Instagram, they just go because you have outgrown, because it's a cycle of life. And you know that. But what I need you to do because of that knowledge is to stop putting your life on hold because you care so much about what other people are going to think. I need you to get to a point whereby you're like, you know what? I got to do what I got to do. Because at the end of the day, the grand scheme of things, it doesn't really matter what people think. It doesn't, these people are always moving in and out of our lives. Everyone has a chapter. They finish the chapter, they keep it moving. I am saying this because when I started this YouTube channel, I had low-key anxiety. I was like, oh my God, what are people going to think? Oh my God, am I feeling confident to put myself out there every single time? What are people going to say? What are people going to say about how I look? What are people going to say about what I'm saying? Will they say it is rubbish? And then I got to a point And I was like, you know what? I overcame that because I told myself that the people that matter to me 20 years ago, I don't even know where they are. I probably stopped doing the things I needed to do because I was worried about what they're going to say about me. And guess what? It doesn't matter. It does not matter. Point number 3. Peace is more expensive than anything else in the world. Like honey. Honey, peace is the most important thing you can ever get. And I think Jesus knew that because when he left, he said, my peace I give to you. Nothing in this world. If you pursue anything in this world, let peace be the first thing. You know what peace looks like? Peace looks like having a cup of tea and savoring the flavor. You know what I mean? Peace is that feeling where you go to bed and sleep and like actually sleep. I'm not talking about you're chased by demons at night. You're just wondering, whoa, my goodness, you have all these worries and all these problems. That's not peace. Peace is when you go to bed and sleep. Peace is when you listen to a song and you can actually hear the lyrics. You can hear the tune. You can hear the melodies. You are in tune. You're in the vibe of the music. That is what peace looks like. That's what peace looks like. And I learned that hard truth through a job that I worked that sucked the life out of my soul. Like I used to dread going to work. My goodness, I used to dread going to that office and I used to dread going home. Like I used to look forward to going home. And every time I was there, I just felt dead on the inside. And you know what? I woke up one day and I quit. Best decision I've ever made. Obviously, quitting a job comes with repercussions because then I had to figure out what I am going to do next. But guess what? I have never once looked back and gone like, oh my God, I wish I was working at that job. No. Because let me tell you something. When you taste peace, you will want to defend it at all costs. And that is why I'm telling you, if you're at a situation whereby your peace it has been taken away from you, I want to challenge you. I want to challenge you to reclaim your peace, because peace, lack of peace, the cost of lack of peace is heavy. The repercussions, the low sides of not having peace are huge. There's so many people in hospitals taking medication for depression. There are a lot of people battling high blood pressure. There are a lot of people battling stress. There are so many people on whatever problems. Guess what? Because they don't have peace. And there are so many people who, once they gave away the things that used to get in the way of their peace and have found peace, they have been able to come to the other side. They've been able to reclaim their peace. They've been able to reclaim good health. They've been able to reclaim their joy. There are people who have let go of so many things and found peace. So that the thing is, and unfortunately, if you live in the Western world, life can feel like it's a fast lane. You're constantly chasing money, constantly chasing wealth. You never have time to sit and breathe. And I think about the people on the other side of the world who wake up. I saw an Instagram post some time back, and there are these men who just wake up and go fishing. That's all they do. And they cook that fish in their boat. They eat it and they go home. This is all these people do. These are people you will never hear of a heart attack. You will never hear any of them getting diabetes. You will never hear high blood pressure with those people because they have learned to prioritize. Now, I'm not telling you to pack your bags and go to some place in the middle of nowhere and live your life. I'm not saying that. But I am telling you that if you're living a life where you don't have peace, you need to fight for your peace. Because at the end of the day, let me tell you, what it takes to be a human being is a lot. When you imagine your body, your cells, the things that have been brought together, the intricate details of what makes you you. When you think about what makes you you, it is a lot. Like God took time to put you in, put that, make sure that your eyes are where they should be, make sure that, put all that stuff. You know what I mean? There's so much work that went inside you, that went into you to make you who you are, for you to sacrifice all of that because you're running after things that are taking away your peace. I want you to fight for your peace at whatever costs. If you have to stop going to some places, stop going. If you have to cut down your commitments and decide, you know what, I can have 5 meetings in a month, sorry, in a week. I can't be committed here and go here and show up for this. I can't dedicate myself towards this course and that course and this course. Do that. Because peace is the most precious, but it's also the most expensive, so that so many people are not willing to buy it. So many people can afford to have this because they're so stretched out in so many ways. Okay? Let's move on to the next point. Your parents were just people. Anyone in their 40s will tell you that, we grow up and we just think our parents could have done better. Like our parents could have done this differently. Like our parents, I know that my parents could have done better and should have done better. There are things that myself and my best friend, who's now in her 40, we ask ourselves, she knows herself, we ask ourselves, how did we make it this far? Like with the parents we had, when don't get me wrong, we love them, but how did we make it this far? With the parents, with the decisions they made about our lives, with the caring or not caring that they showed us in our lives, how did we survive our childhood? And we did. We are here and we love them. But we also know, because of that knowledge, we also know there are things they could have done better, and there are things we are aiming to do better for our children. However, maturity has taught me one thing. It has taught me to extend grace to my parents, and it has taught my friend that I was telling you about, who I will not mention, to extend grace to our parents. At the end of the day, when growing up, you start to realize, you know what? Our parents did the best they could with what they had. They probably did not have parents to look after them or to provide for them or to teach them, the things that they taught us. And I know there are some parents who did some atrocious things to their children. Like their parents who, honestly, there was no excuse for the things they did. And if that is you, I want you to think about this very differently. I want you to ask yourself, because God gave you those parents, because you found yourself here. I am a believer, born again believer, and I do believe in one thing, that the word of God teaches us how to behave and when we can't understand these things that happen to us, when we look towards the word of God, it gives us a reference, a thing to latch on our lives and our perspective to. So if you're someone whose parents did some bad things to you, if you're someone who always feels like your parents, you can't excuse them, not even talking about the really dark things that, you're probably thinking. I want to talk, if you feel like they failed, I want you to remind yourself that you are mandated by God to honor your parents. There is a blessing that comes with honoring your parents, whether we like it or not. That's just God's way. That's just a principle. And the reward of that is that you may live long and that it might go well with you. So maybe the reason things are not going well with you is because you don't honor your parents, because you're so hung up on the things they did not do for you. Maybe the reason you're worried about your life isn't going well, maybe the reason things are going that way is because you still haven't forgiven them. This is what I encourage you. Go and forgive your parents for whatever they did. Whether they knew what they were doing or did not know what they were doing, please go and forgive your parents. It is a benefit to you, a direct benefit to you. You will not only live longer, it's a promise, but things will go well with you. The next point is that plan B sometimes is better than plan A. I'm telling you, sometimes plan B is better than plan A. I say this because having had a failed marriage, having been a single mother for many years, having been jobless for a while and struggling through life, which is a clear indication that my plan A had completely collapsed, I was given a life because of the collapse of my plan A. I was given a life by my plan B, and by my failings to a plan B that ended up being better than my plan A. I'm so grateful to God because I have a life that I'm pretty happy with, and I'm blessed, and I give thanks to God for that. But it had to take a complete and total breakdown of my plan A. And I'm pretty sure that I'm not alone. There are so many people I have met who went like, I'm so glad I didn't get that job. I'm so glad that marriage failed. I am so glad that career I really wanted to be. I wanted to be an engineer and I couldn't afford to go to school. I couldn't afford school fees. So I decided to do nursing or whatever. And that nursing opened a world of opportunities for me. I'm so glad that I could buy this property in this place, and it went right through my fingers. But I got another place, and the place that you got is a place that you found your tribe, your community. It's the place that you're able to raise a home and be happy and be fulfilled and have a proper environment for you and your family. I don't know what the situation is. I don't know how it is for you, but I want you to remember that if your plan A is falling apart, don't worry. Plan B, most of the time, plan B ends up better than plan A. Oprah Winfrey said something that I remember a long time ago. She said that life happens not to you, but it happens for you. Life is conspiring. I like to say God is conspiring to just make sure that He works everything out for your good. So if things are falling apart today, I want you to remember this one thing. These things, they are all happening for your good. Things will work out, and plan B might knock your socks off because it might end up being the most beautiful plan ever. I hope that encourages you. I really hope that encourages you. And the last point is this. Your reputation is what is stopping you from becoming wealthy. Or your reputation, if wealth is not something you're pursuing, your reputation is what is stopping you from moving your life forward. Why do I say this? Because you care so much about what people think that it is getting in the way of you really expressing yourself the way you should. And I'm not talking about making videos. I'm talking about starting a business, or moving to another place, or leaving a marriage that isn't working, or opening up to people and saying, look, my life is falling apart. I'm keeping it together, but I'm crumbling on the inside. This is the thing. A lot of people could be so far if they didn't care about what other people think. Like I just gave you an example. I said, when I started making these videos, I felt low-key anxiety. Now I don't care. I don't care, because at the end of the day, if what you're doing is okay with the Lord and you're not hurting anyone, there's no reason why you shouldn't go ahead and do it. There's no reason why. Your reputation is actually the worst thing. That's the worst thing that is holding you back. They're keeping a certain image so you can't do some jobs. You know what I mean? Because they are beneath you. Or you can't be open about the fact that your whole life feels like a trap. Because what will people think? That is the enemy right there. We try and cover up. We try and cover up with this. We try and cover up with this. We try and mask happiness. We try and mask contentment. We try and mask satisfaction. But at the end of the day, you know when you're lying to yourself. And it will be very sad to come to the end of your life and realize that you are never true to yourself, because you are so focused on making everyone else happy. You are so focused on making everybody see you a certain way that you forgot to live and be true to yourself. When you are in your deathbed, when you've come to the end of it all, ask yourself, will you feel good about the choices you made? Or will you regret not having done the things that you should have done because of people who, at that point, you wouldn't even know what happened to them. You wouldn't even know where they are. And they will not even know where you are. They will not even know where you are. As I said, the people I used to worry about what they thought about me 10 years ago, I have no idea where they are. And the people that you are with right now, you don't know how many of them will make it to the finish line with you. So your reputation, don't give it a pedestal. Your reputation is just that. I always say they speak one day and then tomorrow they've moved on. Okay? I really hope this encourages you. I really hope that this, if you feel like your life is stuck and you feel like you're waiting for something to happen and it's not happening, and you feel like, you feel stuck, I hope these hard truths open you up so that you can take the bold step you need to take to do what you need to do. Okay. I will catch you in the next video. Please subscribe if you haven't. This is the other thing. I'm not going to shy away from asking you to subscribe, and I am not going to shy away from telling you to share this video with someone who is in their 30s or their 40s, because I drop some gems in here. Like, subscribe, share, and I'll catch you in the next video. And please, yeah, subscribe. I'll see you in the next video. God bless you. Bye.